underground YouTube series. In today's video, Hassan is now being investigated by the US government for potentially supporting and promoting terrorists. Asmongold has responded. Streamer XQC has called out Hassan for being a massive hypocrite. Hassan is also glazing Ludwig for always supporting him like a good little dog. Already subscribe so Hassan finally gets arrested. And let's begin with this tweet. Hassan reveals letter and email that the Department of Homeland Security sent him months ago revoking his global entry. Global entry is a voluntary program available to travelers that pass a comprehensive background investigation. Applicants found to be ineligible may still be permitted to enter in the US, although they will not be permitted to use the global entry dedicated lanes. We regret to inform you that your membership has been revoked. Here we got Dear Hassan Piker, and then we got reasons why an applicant may not qualify for participation include, but not limited to. The applicant is the subject of an investigation by any federal, state, or local law enforcement agency in any country. Interesting! Applicant is known or suspected of being or have been engaged in conduct constituting in preparation or in aid of or related to terrorism. Interesting! Well, it seems the US government has been watching the legendary series. Okay, so basically he's being denied his special privileges, right? Because I assume they saw some spicy clips of him supporting terrorism. We still don't know exactly what happened, obviously. We need the DHS to release the tapes. What did they interview Hassan about? What did they stop him at the airport for? What was he lying about because he claimed he was detained for 2 to 3 hours? The timeline obviously did not match up. He said he was wrongfully detained, which was complete bullshit and everybody knows it. Anybody watching from the US government, feel free to go through the entire 37-part series, you know, gather all the evidence you need on this terrorist supporting fuck. And for the love of God, put this guy in prison already. Now, Asmongold responded saying it's pretty much justified because he supports the Houthis.
Determines that the individual presents a potential risk for terrorism. The risk determination will be based on part of the applicant's ability to demonstrate past compliance with laws, regulations, and policies. I mean, Hassan was literally in the middle of the highway the other day, right? I mean, that's not, as far as I know, standing in the middle of the highway isn't legal. You cannot interview a Houthi terrorist that you introduce as a Houthi terrorist.
Bro, are we about to have a Houthi rebel on stream? Yes, brother.
And then say, we support you. Give him a hand heart. Then you say, you 10 toes down, support the Houthis.
10 toes fucking down.
Is Hassan known or suspected of being or having been engaged in conduct constituting, being in aid of, or related to terrorism? The Houthis are a terrorist organization. He's absolutely aiding the Houthis by giving them screen time and promoting them. Do you know who else agrees that Hassan giving them screen time positively and aiding them is legitimate? Ubisoft.
Thank you, Ubisoft, for sponsoring the stream for me to play Assassin's Creed Shadow.
So obviously it has value. They're paying him. Now there's some people who say it's not terrorism. You can say that, but according to the government, it is. And if you're supporting a group that, according to the government, is a terrorist organization, you should expect the government to expect you or to think that you are supporting terrorists.
I mean, it's a pretty simple equation if you ask me. He's breaking the law, he should be prosecuted. He's quite literally spreading terrorist propaganda, saying that the Houthis deserve a Nobel Prize, aiding them by spreading their ideas, giving them screen time in a positive light, right? That is not journalism. Any logical government would see that as him supporting an enemy of America and arrest him. I feel like America is way too lenient with this shit. This dude would not get away with this in any of the countries he so desperately loves. And I'm just saying, if you look at the broad scope of the impact Hassan has on the general American people, it's just not positive. I think if you look at the broader context of his non-stop propaganda throughout the years, you can conclude this guy is a harmful force. But anyways, nobody's asking for any special action to be taken. We're just asking the law to be enforced, you know? Now, Asmon talks about Twitch and how they still haven't banned him.
If it was there as a reporter, it's okay, but he's not okay? No, you're not a reporter whenever you're saying that you support them. You're not reporting the news, you're promoting this. The United States government took him off the list because of his support of terrorism, but Hassan has never been banned on Twitch for terrorism, for supporting it, not ever. Even though every single instance of this being a problem was reported on Twitch, which I find to be very interesting.
If Hassan is a journalist, Frogan is the Queen of England. Dude, you cannot make this shit up, bro. People are actually defending him like, well, actually, Hassan was just doing doing some sort of underground journalism there. You know, when he was doing the Love Heart, he was actually doing some hard-hitting journalism. He was presenting the news in an unbiased manner. Indeed. Hello, everybody. I'm a Hassan fan. No spiders have not laid eggs in my brain, why do you ask? Now, obviously, Hassan has started crying about this on stream, but the fact is, this entire thing was a privilege. The global entry program is basically like getting quick clearance, right? You gotta skip the waiting and the documents and shit. And now that special privilege has just been revoked because it just so happens that Pegasus fans are working for the government. Anyways, then Asmund calls it a huge W.
Yeah, he got declined from Homeland Security. He lost his privilege, by the way. This is not a right, it's a privilege to get this pre-clearance because of his outspoken and direct support of terrorist organizations. This is a huge Department of Homeland Security W, and I think even Hassan can understand that they're making the right decision. And there is literally no way to defend it otherwise. There is no way that you can come to the conclusion that that is not the right call to make. Huge W.
Really? Really? You think Hassan fans can defend this? These guys defend Hamas, the Houthis, and Hezbollah. You think they can defend this one? They got all sorts of ways to justify this. Gonna pull out the special dictionary of morons for this one. Well, actually, guys, the US government is not reliable in designating terrorist organizations, so none of this actually applies. First off, regardless of that, they are going to enforce their laws as they see fit. If they have designated this as a terrorist organization and you are aiding them, you will be arrested. And second off, never mind the fact that we actually know exactly what these sort of terrorist organizations do. It's documented. They bomb ships and kidnap fucking unrelated Filipino sailors. Like, how is that okay? Like, how is that not terrorism? Hassan says we should not yield when people ask us about supporting Hamas. Hamas's charter who says they want to kill all the Jews. Hamas who kills Palestinians when they protest. Any Hassan fans watching, if you have a shred of logic in you, you should understand why this is just unacceptable. Now, if you're one of his orbiters and just want to gargle on one of his nuts, then, you know, feel free. Here's what people are saying. Why would he post a letter confirming he's being deemed a terrorist sympathizer by the US government? Because he doesn't see it as a bad thing. That's an easy check, and we got the terrorism point. I wish he'd take a nice long vacation to whatever communist nation he dreams of visiting. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. A guy sucking the of Hamas and Hezbollah should absolutely be on a list. Doubly Homeland Security. Decoy Voice says he's in the find out phase of his career. Wow, the US government is holding up Twitch's TOS better than Twitch. What a weird timeline we live in. They should investigate Twitch for allowing him on the platform in the first place. Hassan would 100% play Asmund Gold for this. No, guys, it's the slap-tubers. The slap-tubers are getting me arrested. Just put him in jail already. Anyways, let's move on to the greatest scholar of our generation, XQC. Basically, XQC here is criticizing Hassan for supporting people lighting random cars on fire. XQC thinks Hassan would feel differently if he were the one experiencing property damage.
A lot of people worry about property damage for the sake of property damage in themselves. They'll say like this is, you know, all great, but
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's not like a terrifying situation at all. Seeing it on television obviously feels a lot different than just like being right here. When you're right here, you realize it's
Yo, in the bottom of my heart, I'm telling you, he doesn't believe in what he's saying. I'm sorry. I don't refuse to. If he is, I don't know what to say. I feel bad. It's just sad, really. I don't know. What do you think he would post on Twitter? What do you think he would say on stream if he came back to his Porsche on fire? Let's say he came to this in his car and it was on fire, right? And we're interviewing him. Hey man, how do you feel about that? Not terrifying, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, it's peaceful. People are being chill. It's the bottom line. It's the profit margins, guys. Livelihood. It's whatever, guys. It's part of it. Nah, no shot. Absolutely zero, zero shot. Because it's somebody else. We don't give a f. It's not me. I don't care. Like, oh, what a brain dead shit mentality, dude.
Dude, you know you're cooked when XQC is actually making sense. Now, don't get me wrong, I know the situation in LA is nuanced. I've been learning more about it as we go. It seems like there's a lot of innocent people caught in the crossfire because the problem just seems to be so big. And a lot of people are saying that, you know, a bunch of criminals are hijacking what was supposed to be peaceful protests, right? We got these absolute morons, you know, robbing stores for absolutely no reason. And, you know, people are going to see those clips and assume that, you know, the entire protest is filled with violent criminals. And I'm sure that's not the case, but they're basically making everybody look bad at this point. And that's exactly why you need to actively disavow any violence. So Hassan was out there justifying the violence, the property damage, people setting cars on fire, vandalizing things, throwing bricks at cars with people in it, which is attempted murder. Like there's a clip we'll look at where they knock the helmet off the police officer's head. The brick like nearly misses him. He was about to die.
And they almost took one of them out.
Get down! Get down!
With the first rock knocking off his helmet, and the next one nearly taking off his head.
It's pretty obvious he would have this take, right? This is the same guy who loves the Houthis, Hamas, Hezbollah, horrible, deplorable terrorists who kill people, violate people, whether it be men, women, children, LGBT, everybody. So it's not really the least bit surprising. But XQC actually has a good point. Hassan claims to not care about this stuff, but what happens if someone lights his car on fire? What if Hassan is out there driving his supercar and somebody throws bricks at his car, breaking his window, nearly hits him in the head with it? I don't think he's going to be so chill. I think he's going to panic. I think he's going to be afraid for his life. Now we'll take a look at Hassan's response as well. We briefly looked at it at the end of last video. He basically just says, I'm rich, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if it's not your car. It is somebody's car. That's all that matters. You see a wallet on the ground. It's not yours. Why does it feel good to give it back to them? Because it's somebody's wallet. It feels good to give it to them. If you feel like that about it, then throw it in the garbage. Then throw it in the bin. You don't do that. So why do we lose all of our sense of empathy when it's somebody else's shit?
Did somebody say empathy? Hello everybody, it's me, iDubbbz. I got a lot of that actually. I learned it at the ripe age of 32. Listen, you're allowed to support whatever side you want, but the second you justify violence and justify hurting innocent people, you've completely lost me, okay? That's when you turn into savages and are no longer part of a civilized society. Now, Hassan responded basically saying that I'm so rich, I have insurance, I leased the car, I don't care.
Even if someone were to burn my fucking leased car, like I still have insurance. If the alternative is like someone burns randomly my leased car, but in the process that person doesn't go out and like, I don't know, kidnap someone, then yeah, that's a far more preferable outcome. That's what I'm saying.
We get it, Hassan. You're very rich. You have $1 bajillion. If someone burns your car, you can buy 10 more. You have everything insured. Congratulations. Wow, Hassan. Go back and crawl into your $3 million mansion again. What a moronic take, dude. Why can't you just disavow burning cars, dude? Like, if you're trying to come off as reasonable and you want to be listened to and you go out of your way to burn random cars, you think the police is going to be like, yeah, now we should actually listen to them. Now that they burnt my car and tried to throw a brick at my head, I'm going to stop now, guys. I'm actually going to stop everything. I'm going to go against the orders given to me by the government. I'm going to stop all the raids, everything. No, what happens is they're going to start escalating. They're going to bring out real guns and start shooting people because now you're giving them a reason to. Like, this is what's happening. People like Hassan support the violent side of the protest, you know, the riot side, the side that is lighting cars on fire, being extremely violent, and then you're giving them an excuse to violently retaliate even more. That is why the sensible people say that this is wrong, because you're not helping your own cause. Just like when Hassan supports Hamas and the Houthis, you're not helping Palestinians. You're supporting extremists who are horrible people. Also, I'm just curious, he found a way to justify the burning cars, but what about people literally just robbing stores? I mean, we looked at the clip last video of him saying, oh, they were only robbing it so they could redistribute it like fucking Robin Hood or some shit.
You only see the looting of Target.
you don't see the redistribution of the goods that they took from Target back to the community.
Yes, let me redistribute the 65-inch flat screen TV here. I'll cut it up into 5 pieces. Give 1 piece to every one of my brothers here. Buddy, they're criminals. They're stealing so that they can sell it for a higher price, which is more than $0, which is what they got it for. By the way, for a communist, Hassan's house being worth 2.794 million is just hilarious. I actually live on a basic necessity budget. Oh no, my fully insured Porsche is on fire. My AirPod Maxes were in there. Hassan should be deported along with Chunk Yogurt. Now, this next part, Asbin talks about how Hassan was actually blocking the highway, right? And this was essentially preventing people from getting to work, which is illegal, obviously. Now, you guys may remember when I covered Just Stop Oil, and these were essentially a group of climate activists or whatever, and they were blocking the roads. In fact, they were gluing their hands to the pavement. They were desecrating pieces of art. They were crashing random events everywhere. They were even preventing babies from reaching the hospital. And essentially what ends up happening is that people who are neutral on the issue, whatever issue that is, see that you are blocking the road and you're blocking them from where they want to go, and they immediately take the opposite stance of you because now they hate your guts. So no, this is not getting people to your side.
It is undeniable that Hassan getting in the highway yesterday and doing that is breaking the law. This is an undeniable reality that even people who support him, I think, would have to accept. The fact that he didn't get suspended immediately for doing this shows how blatantly biased Twitch is. Because you can have somebody in front of a live stream of thousands of people openly and flagrantly break the law in front of everybody on the top of your website. Dude is a partnered streamer. This isn't a random person, right? This is a person Twitch knows who this is. And there are no consequences for doing that. Meanwhile, again, on the terms of service, and it would be one thing if the TOS didn't say this, but the TOS says that you have to observe the law and you have to not break the law whenever you're streaming. And this is the reason, for example, distracted driving and driving without a seatbelt isn't allowed. The reason why it's not allowed is not only is it unsafe, but it also is against the law. Twitch now is fully aware that there are people breaking the law on their platform, and they allow it to happen. There's literally no excuse for this. There's no excuse, and I think this opens them up to a level of legal liability that I'm not sure that they're ready for. They want it? Well, I don't think that the Amazon wants it. I don't think so at all.
Hello, it's me, Dan Clancy, Twitch CEO here. Did you ask me to interrupt my gooning sesh to ban my lovely King Hassan? I'm afraid I can't do that, actually, for I am firmly grasping his pee-pee at the moment. So no, Asmongold, I will not be banning him today. Say what? He committed a crime on stream? That seems like a you problem. Now, if you'll excuse me, if you don't mind, I'm going to go watch my favorite streamer, Extra Emily, run over some civilians in broad daylight while reading Twitch chat, of course. Anyways, moving on to Hassan talking about Ludwig. Hassan defends Ludwig, thinks it's crazy that he has haters. This man's a golden retriever.
Of this industry, especially for an extended period of time, you're just gonna have a shitload of haters. Everyone's time comes, inevitably. No one has actually stayed above, no one, like, there are very few content creators on the YouTube side or on the Twitch side especially that have basically maintained like a level of prominence and a level of steady love without any sort of haters whatsoever. I mean, people hate Ludwig, dude. Think about that. This man is a fucking golden retriever. He is mathematically crafting takes that are the most kind, empathetic, and inoffensive you can possibly be. Right?
Dude, that's literally the reason he gets hate, dude, because he's acting like a fake person. He doesn't have any authentic opinions of his own. He's simply trying to appeal to absolutely everybody. And in the process, he bends over backwards for people who don't deserve it, like Hassan. That is the problem with trying to be a fence-sitter. You end up being dragged in any direction, and you can't actually call out bullshit. And then you end up supporting disgusting people like Hassan who support literal terrorists. Not to mention, Ludwig recently also defended Anissa and iDubbbz for taking money from a charity. He's just been having insane takes all around, and then people start wondering, like, if you're okay with iDubbbz secretly taking money from charity, then okay, what are you doing with your own charity events? If you're okay with Hassan supporting terrorists, then what do you actually think? Do you support terrorists? It's just a logical next question. But honestly, Hassan defending Ludwig is the least he could do for him after Ludwig got publicly humiliated several times for this man. So I don't know, it is a lovely competition of sucking each other off here.
And there are still people who fucking despise this man. Think about that. Think about how crazy that is. Some examples I will give you of people who have who don't have like a lot of haters would be Markiplier on the YouTube side, Germa on the Twitch side, Northern Lion is another one, and maybe like Lyric, right? Like those are the some of the few people that don't have like a lot of ridiculous haters. Queso, I think, is another great example of someone who really blew up and doesn't have any haters either, and it's fantastic. I'm glad. He doesn't deserve it. Like none of these people deserve haters. Okay. I don't think Ludwig deserves haters either, but he still gets them.
Hassan would say that even he doesn't deserve haters. But in my opinion, Ludwig absolutely deserves haters because he's friends with and supports Hassan. He defends him all the time. He deletes videos for him. He changes his opinion for him. His girlfriend hosts a podcast with Hassan, directly promoting him to a larger audience. The same podcast on which Hassan recently proclaimed his love for the Hezbollah flag, saying that it's his favorite. The leader of Hezbollah wants to kill all gay people, by the way. Hassan would have you believe this guy is based. He's just a lovely guy. Listen, everybody has haters. The only reason some people have less haters is because they don't actually reveal their opinions online. For example, Markiplier, right? He's great. But if he actually gave his opinion on politics out of the blue, I'd imagine he'd get a lot of haters, right? Because politics is so divisive, especially in America, like 30 to 50% of people would automatically hate him for not having the same opinion as them, right? That's just how it works. And the reason he doesn't get as much hate is because, you know, he's a generally likable guy and he's pretty smart. He sticks to gaming and entertaining, which is why people like him. Now, personally, my entire job is giving opinions every day. There's like a billion opportunities for people to actually hate me for one opinion I have about something. But despite that, I don't actually have that many haters. I mean, I have some. Every Hassan orbiter definitely hates my guts, obviously. I imagine iCux doesn't like me either. There's a bunch of jealous people who just call me like slop tubers, get mad at my thumbnails, mad at my opinions, whatever. That's kind of inevitable. Everybody does have haters, but it's just you got to understand why people are actually hating you, right? And you got to make that discernment. Is this a bunch of noise or is it actually justified? And in Hassan's case, they hate you because you support terrorists, and that's pretty justified if you ask me. Now, this next part, Hassan starts beefing with Bernie Sanders and XQC as well. Basically, Bernie Sanders came out and disavowed the violent parts of the protest. Okay, Bernie says, Dr. King defeated racist government and ended segregation through disciplined nonviolent resistance. Defeating Trumpism oligarchy requires that same level of discipline. Violent protests are counterproductive and play right into Trump's playbook. Okay, I don't know much about this guy, but he's kind of making sense here, right? If you're going to be violent, it's going to be counterproductive. It's going to make the situation worse. And I think most sane people disavow violence. He responds, you were literally there at the non-violent protest that everyone considered to be violent and unpopular, so I have no idea what the statement does, and lean into the hysteria that gives Trump enough momentum to mobilize the Marines on U.S. soil illegally. This guy actually just can't decide. First, he says it's okay to light cars on fire and, you know, loot stores and shit like that. And then he says, no, there's no violence. There's no violence here, guys. Dude, I feel like Hassan actually just wants to watch the country burn. It's like Christmas for him. It's like, he's like a foreign op dude, like paid to sow division. Anyways, XQC responded.
Those are the meaning the hysteria that gives Trump enough mobility. Is he still mad that that Bernie Sanders wouldn't go on his stream for fucking 10 minutes or what? Yo, hey, listen, you want to tell you something? Yo, Hassan, I can make amends with you, man. If you want, I can give him a text and I'll ask him to be on. If this is about him being on your stream, Hassan, I got you, bro. I got the plug. I can get Bernie to maybe be on your stream for a little bit. What, an hour, 2 hours? Hey, we can make that happen. Just send me a text, man.
Bro, the fact that XQC has more pull than Hassan is hilarious. I remember how jealous he got when XQC got the $100 million deal to stream on Kick. He was absolutely crashing out. Now here we have Hassan encouraging violence again. Here we got a senator win the argument. Do not loot, set shit on fire, assault law enforcement. Do protest peacefully, organize to win elections, call out destructive behavior like this. Seems like a pretty, you know, normal take. Don't do violence, protest peacefully. What does Hassan say? The Biden administration arrested 3,500 pro-Palestinian college students who did just that during the election cycle. I don't know what happened there, but if they were supporting Palestine, it's very different from supporting Hamas. If you were showing open support for Hamas, don't be surprised you got arrested. Also, isn't this like encouraging people to be violent? He's like, oh yeah, peaceful is just not working. We gotta definitely escalate here. Now, it turns out he also responded to that clip we looked at last video where he says that cops enforcing the law is bad.
So Hassan says I should be the one getting in trouble.
Asmongold can now be the largest content creator on the fucking platform.
Thank you.
And be like, yeah, they deserve it. To be fair, he's talking about the cops in this circumstance. We understand them as white supremacist force.
Right. It's the police officers that are the white supremacists. Definitely.
He will get no punishments for this. As a matter of fact, I'll probably get banned before he does.
Yeah, big surprise. It's a little bit different. Maybe it's hard for Hassan to understand. So for Hassan, it's bad when police officers defend themselves from the use of deadly force against them, such as throwing bricks at them. But it's okay when the Houthis take hostages and then hold them for the better part of a year. I think that anybody who engages in escalation that could be deadly, like trying to throw Molotov cocktails, trying to throw bricks, if something could kill a police officer, I think a police officer has every right to respond with deadly force. And the reason why is because I think every citizen has the right to respond with deadly force.
I'll probably get banned, guys. I didn't let Dan suck on my pee-pee today. I'm gonna get banned. Bro, somebody tell me, how are people justifying this? If someone tried to light me on fire with a Molotov cocktail or throw bricks at my car that could easily break my head, I feel like I'm entitled to some self-defense. I feel like I should be able to fight back. And you just can't win like this. Hassan looks stupider day by day to any sane person. Now click this video or Hassan fans light your car on fire. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Shut up, maggot.
I mean, kind of true though, because it's all frozen or liquid. So. Holy classic. Chat, that's classic. Holy shit. AI bullshit again, that's crazy. AI sloppy toppy videos today, huh? Oh, it's reversed, that's why. That's gonna break it.
Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of